Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm going to be kind of doing a story time kind of video. I'm going to be doing my makeup while I just talk about where I've been the past couple months. A lot of things have changed if you cannot see from the pictures in the background. Let's just get started with the makeup. Hopefully I don't get emotional in this video because I've gotten emotional before. I'm going to be using this Bioma moisturizer and the e.l.f. bronzing drops. I'm gonna start out with school. I posted a short of me getting ready to go to school, and I think I posted a video of like my first day vlog kind of situation, or my first week or something like that. And then I haven't posted anything since. So the schooling went well. I graduated a few weeks ago, and the school, I'm not going to recommend the school that I did go to because there was a lot, I mean, there's going to be a lot of drama with those kind of schools that you go to. But the school that I particularly went to was just for nails and esthetician stuff. Is the hours, I need 200 hours to pass and clearly pass the tests and everything like that. Since you only need 200 hours in this school, you do a test every single day. And I mean every single day you are doing a test. Now, you are on your own, basically. You graduate on your own. You graduate on your own time. So the people that you come in with, or your class as they want to say, you're not going to probably graduate with them if you've missed days. We all graduated differently. My class was really small, and then other people started to come in, and then everything just the whole classroom just blew up. There was a lot of people in there. I completely thought that going into one of these kind of schools, like cosmetology type schools, that the girls were going to be mean, that I was going to have rude girls in that class. All of the girls were so sweet. They were so nice. And it was the teachers that we worried about. There was a whole situation with the whole teacher thing. The teacher that originally was there, I met her when I went to go tour the school, but she left the school. And then so there was a new teacher when I started going there, but then she got fired at some point. And so there was another teacher. The whole thing is just so crazy. There was a lot of rules and a lot of things that I really disliked about the school. For example, there was a name tag that was given to you. If you did not have that name tag on that day, you were sent home and you were not allowed to come back until the next day. Another example is we clock in and out with our finger. We were there from 9 to 3. If you get there at, if you don't get there exactly at 9, like if you get there at 9:01, you cannot clock in and you have to wait until after lunch to clock in, which our lunch was from 11:30 to 12. So you had to clock in before 12. You get what I'm saying? Or else you were not able to clock back in. Like, the whole thing was just so strict, including the black clothing. I knew that a lot of schools, black clothing. We had to wear black scrubs. We weren't allowed to wear any kind of black clothing that we wanted. Next thing that I'm going to do is my concealer. I just wear this one. I don't know if this matches. This was the cheaper option at Target, so I went with it. The only things that I kind of did like in the school was you pretty much learn everything. So you learn Gel X, you learn acrylic, overlays, pedicures, you learn all of that stuff. And every 2 weeks, they would do a mock state board exam practice, so you know what you're doing for state board, which I did like, because some schools don't do everything, and some schools do not do the mock state board practice. So that I did like about the school. I was in school when I found out that I was pregnant. I guess we can talk about the whole pregnant thing first, and then I can talk about after school. So, before, or when I was in school, I found out I was pregnant in July, or in August, sorry. I found out I was pregnant in August. And I missed my period. Okay, I know that when you have sex, correct, that you were bound to get pregnant, and me and the baby dad did not have any protection. And at first we did, but then he never bought any other rubber gloves, so we just never used protection. And I knew what could happen. I was completely aware that, you know, you can get pregnant without protection. Even with protection, you still can get pregnant. Just having sex in general, you can get pregnant. I was aware of that. And I don't know if the baby dad just was stupid or not. I have no idea. Or he thought, like, magically just it would never happen. I don't know. But I missed my period pretty much all 5 days. I think it was all 5 days that I missed my period. I was spending the night at my sister's the night before I found out. And I was like, oh, my period hasn't started. She was like, it's probably just stress. Anytime that I've had pregnancy scares, it has always been stress. There has been times where, usually during my period, my boobs do not hurt at all. My boobs won't hurt. So, every time my boobs have hurt during my period, I'm so, like, paranoid or before it starts, because it normally doesn't hurt. So, I immediately think pregnant. But this time, I was like, it's just stress. I need to calm down so that my period comes. It was feeling like my period was going to come, and it just never did. My boobs hurt, but like I said, they have hurt before, and it's just been stress. Well, that night, I had spotting, and I was like, okay, my period's about to start. Usually when I, right before my period, I wipe, and there's a little bit of, sorry, this is TMI, but I'm just trying to explain to y'all. I'm just trying to explain my experience and what happened. But usually it's a little bit of blood when I wipe. And I was like, okay, my period is about to start. So I put a pad on, I went to bed, and when I wake up, it starts. I go to the bathroom, nothing. There is not even a speck of blood anywhere. So I went home that day. There was nobody home because it was a Friday, I believe. I was laying on my bed, right? And I was just laying there, and I was on TikTok, and pregnancy videos kept popping up, and I'm like, maybe it's just a good idea to go get one just to be on the safe side, so I can just rule it out of my brain, so I don't really think about it. So I texted the baby dad, and I was like, I'm gonna go get a pregnancy test just in case, because my period still has not started. And he was like telling me it's just stress. It's just stress. And I'm like, I understand that it is probably just stress, but going to get one to rule it out is like just gonna help me mentally. And so I went to go get one. I was in the car on the way home. He called me, and he was like kind of freaking out. He was like, it's just stress. It's just stress. I'm gonna put this pressed powder on. I know you're not supposed to use pressed powders, but I don't have any loose powder, and this is what I use, so it works fine, in my opinion. Went to Dollar Tree and just got Dollar Tree ones. He kept telling me that, and I'm like, I can still take one just to be on the safe side, and I was, and so good thing I did take one. But I get home, I go upstairs into the bathroom, take the test, I put it on the counter. I'm not recording or anything, my reaction or nothing like that. because I was fully expecting this to be negative, because I was just highly convinced it's stress. It's just stress. And I'm in the like upstairs living room area, sitting on the couch, and the timer goes off, and I'm sitting there, and I'm starting to get more and more nervous, because, well, I think anybody who takes a pregnancy test, they're more and more nervous as they sit there. Okay, I'm gonna go in there, and it's gonna be negative. I immediately walk into the bathroom, I look at the test, and it is very, very positive. There's no, like, trying to look at it in the light. No. This was very positive. This was positive, and you could tell that it was positive. And I backed away slowly, and then I started to freak out, and then I started to get very lightheaded, and I did not fall on the floor, but I did sit on the floor. I immediately called the baby dad and was like, I'm pregnant, and he just kept telling me, this is where the part of the story makes me very emotional, because he kept telling me to drink. He was like, you need to, dirt my hair. He was like, you need to drink. You need to get rid of this kid. You need to drink. You need to drink. He just kept telling me that over and over again. And I ended up just hanging up the phone, because I was really tired of him telling me to drink and kill the kid. That day, I did tell my parents, they were supposed to go to a Reds game, and ended up not going to a Reds game, the Reds game. We went out to dinner instead, and my mom, obviously they were disappointed in me, which is completely understandable. I'm gonna just use eyeshadow for my blush. I'm just gonna use this shade, and I don't know what it is because I peeled the flipping sticker off of it. But it's just a pink shade. And I told my mom over the phone while she was at work, and then I started crying, and she kind of just told me, why are you crying? Which made me cry harder. So I told her over the phone, and then my dad came home, and I did not know how to tell him. I was just gonna flat out say it, but I was having trouble saying it, and he kind of just guessed it. And he was like, are you pregnant? And I said, yeah. And then I started crying because I was so scared to tell him. My mom has always said that, you know, if you ever got pregnant, your dad would probably drop over and have a heart attack. So I was so scared to say anything to him. But he just got up and hugged me, and that was kind of that. And I was just so scared to tell him, and I'm really happy that he reacted the way that he did, and he didn't completely scold me for it, even though he was probably doing that in his head. But that's how my parents found out, and I promise you, there is not that much blush that I'm putting on my face, okay? It's not that bad. Like, in real life, it is not that bad. On camera, it looks like a lot more than what it actually is. How my parents found out, I told my sister that day too. She was getting her hair done, and she was in the bathroom at the hair salon, and I told her. She was surprised and shocked, obviously, like everybody is. I was 8 weeks, almost 9 weeks when I went to my first appointment. I'll take it off the wall and I'll show y'all. But this was my 8-week ultrasound appointment. And then I had another one at 12 weeks, almost 13 weeks. And that's this one. And then I'm 14 and 2 days pregnant right now. For the whole pregnancy thing is right now. We have the crib and the rocking chair that my parents purchased. So that's the whole thing with the pregnancy. My family does now know, but they told my grandma in person. I was not there for that. And then they told the rest of my family over text. Next, I'm going to do my eyebrows. I'm going to use this gel. It's Wet n Wild. Just clear gel that you can use for brows and lashes. After I graduated school, you have to take a state board exam. So I was on the website to do that, and I accidentally picked the wrong test. So I had to withdraw that test, and I had to choose the right one. So I went to choose that one, and I started to fill out the application, and then I had to stop filling it out, and I went back a few days later, and somehow it submitted itself, and I was not finished with it, and I couldn't go back to edit it, so I went to withdraw that one, and it's still not gone. It said 5 to 8 business days, so I redid another one, and if it doesn't go away, or if I'm not able to submit a new one, I'm gonna have to call them and tell them, like, what's going on. That's what the whole thing with the state board thing, and that whole thing is just pissing me off and making me mad. Next, I'm gonna do mascara. I'm gonna curl my lashes. The whole reason that I started doing manicuring school was because my hairdresser, me and my mom's hairdresser, said that I would be able to have a job at that salon to do nails and pedicures. So I went through schooling for that whole reason, because I thought I was guaranteed a job at that salon, and turns out I am not guaranteed a spot at that salon, so I am stuck in a pickle. And I did call a salon. They were kind of rude about it. I asked if they were hiring for nails and pedicures. The lady was rude, and she was like, I'll call you back. They never called me back, by the way. I'm going to be working in Ohio because that's where I went to school. If I were to work in Indiana, I would have to do more hours. I really don't want to do. Mascara is Urban Decay mascara. That's where I've kind of been lately. I've just been trying to figure things out as I go, and I'm a little more stressed because I have a kid on the way. The baby dad wants to have nothing to do with the kid. He won't even say that it's his kid, which that is like gut-wrenching to me. Honestly, like, I never thought I would be a single mom, so the whole thing is just super heartbreaking to me, and I do not believe in abortions because that's killing and murdering somebody, and I ain't about to do that. I need to own up to my consequence, and clearly there were ways to prevent it. I did not do those things, so now I have to deal with what I did, and I'm owning up to it. I did do the panorama, is that what they call it, testing done for the genetic, like, disorders, seeing if I'm a carrier of anything, or if the baby will have these different kind of genetic disorders or anything of the sort. And then I also am doing the gender testing as well. I went a week or two ago. Not last Friday, but the Friday before that. I believe that was my appointment. Yeah, that was my appointment. And they said that I would get the test within like a week. I ain't getting that test within a week. I'll probably get it next Wednesday because it's saying that I'll get it the 29th. We'll see when it comes. That's the estimated time. I'm hoping I get it this week. I'm really hoping I get it this week. It's like eating me alive. Like, I want to know what it is. I think I'm having a boy. My aunt thinks I'm having a boy. I don't know what my parents think. My brother wants it to be a boy. clearly. I think my sister wants it to be a girl. My friend thinks it's a boy, but wants it to be a girl. That's all I know. That's all I know. I just want my baby to be healthy. That's what I've just always said. I don't care what it is as long as it's healthy. If it was a girl, that would be fun, but also terrifying at the same time because I know what my attitude is and I'm scared to pass that on. But, I haven't been glowing in this pregnancy. No, definitely not. I think my beauty's being sucked out, and that's why I'm like, oh, it's a girl, but I just have this gut feeling it's a boy. The last thing that I am going to do is some lip plumper. Lip plumper. We're gonna do lip plumper today. My lips have been so crusty and dry. Maybe this isn't the best option to use. Oh my goodness. Okay. We have it on. Actually, I'm gonna do a lip color. I think I want to do a color. Let's do this light pink color. I got these from TikTok shop and I don't really like them because they're kind of dry. Okay. What do we think? I need to clean it. What do y'all think about the pink lip? If any of you have any ideas of videos or wanting to know more, please let me know. I would love some feedback on the things that I do post. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope y'all are having a bit of a better time than what I am right now. But I'm hanging in there and everything will be okay in the end. God has a plan and I'm going to stick to God's plan. Thank you guys for watching.